All right, hey everyone, welcome to another Tellor Dev Call. It's Tuesday now. Had a holiday yesterday. Big things for this week. Um, what's on my mind? I just posted another deep dive. This time with Evan from Celestia. This was on Blobstream, which is sort of the bridge that brings proofs from Celestia over to Ethereum that we forked and are going to use from Layer. So there was a big selfish intention on getting this deep dive in. You can go give it a listen. Basically, if you're wondering about bridge designs and kind of like clients on different chains, it was an awesome hour. One of my favorites, so definitely go watch it. Uh, yeah, and then we're still just kind of in the swing of things, coding up Layer and helping users kind of use this currently. So, Tim, over to you.
Yeah, so added a bunch more signing and different logic to the bridge. Now, I found that we actually need a little more information on the Oracle side, a timestamp. Um, so
Another one.
yeah, I guess the aggregate report getter doesn't have a timestamp in it right now.
Okay.
So, but I see that we do have a list of all timestamps that's available internally, so I can add an API command for that. Um, but yeah, that's what I found I need to build our bridge Oracle attestations. So I'm adding it in on my branch right now. I know that'll cause some merge issues, but I can start signing that. But yeah, that should be about ready to go after that's what we need, those timestamps.
Okay.
Super cool. And then I know Omega had asked for something and you're helping them out with. What's that?
Yeah, so they need to be able to read Bitcoin balances of any Bitcoin address and like native EVM token balances like Ether or Matic. And so we already had an integration like this, but the current one you can query historic balances for any timestamp or block in the past, but they actually need a current balance. Um, so we just have to like add another integration to Telia that basically just uses the other logic we already had, but it gets the current balance. Um, and getting into the weeds a little bit, it actually doesn't get the actual current balance. It needs to get a balance from like a little bit of time ago because there's not finality of the current block from these chains. So you want a little more finality before we put this on chain.
Nice. So were you gonna do that today?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then just send it over to them whenever we have it done. I think that's what they
Okay.
requested. Um, cool. Dan, how's things?
Good. So I'm building or rebuilding the price monitor so we can compare teller reported values to the actual values. And in that, I'm working on grabbing the teller data from Dune.
You don't have to use Dune. You can just scrape the chain if it's easier. So
Okay.
don't, yeah.
Is
Is
that
it easier though?
I don't know if it's easier. Dan, if it's easier, you can just scrape it. Because I know Dan might be familiar with scraping just right off the chain, but I know Dune's a learning curve if you don't know SQL or anything.
Yeah, I took a SQL course in college, but have to relearn a good amount. So I'll see.
Cool. But we like the Dune guys, so always happy to help support them. Uh,
They have AI built in now too, so that might help for some of the basic queries.
I couldn't get that to work for me. But
It's
maybe
probably
reprompt it.
they probably just pipe GPT right into it, so it's just gonna
Probably.
whatever answer GPT would give. Everybody's doing that now.
cool.
Are we gonna do?
we did that for a little bit. We had, you can ask Tellor GPT question. The problem was like, it's not deterministic. So like, you can ask it like, how on earth do you know if it's right? Like you could just straight up lie to you and you have no proof because you could never reproduce it.
Or you can train it to lie.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We could have ChatGPT build data specs for us. So they come in, they say, I want this,
You
and it
can't-
prints out
there-
a data spec.
GPT has no knowledge of Tellor stuff, so I don't think this could work.
It thanks for proof of work.
Yeah.
Still.
Still, they've updated it, so like
I haven't checked.
ChatGPT is now up to April 2023. So I haven't really dug into asking it Tellor related questions in a while, but I think it's upgraded.
all right. Never mind the tangent. What's next?
Akram has things.
Good. I'm working on the reward distribution. I was leveraging distribution module before, so I gotta kind of rework it a little bit to work with the reporter stuff. But I'm gonna try to use the same logic, so
Cool.
just different. And also looking into the string query padding stuff. I know it's not important, but
Oh, okay, cool.
It is important.
it is important. Okay. I'm
Everything.
looking at it. It seems like the encoding is, canceling the padding. It's not adding the padding to string queries for some reason. I don't know why. But there are new methods. I don't know what's switching to them.
Is
Would be
that-
like
So the padding that's the padding is like the length of the thing in like how many bytes it is the padding that goes in the front, or like
the padding that goes in the front, just empty bytes, I guess, that signal where the actual data starts.
Yeah.
okay, so it's where the
Yeah, but for it adds it for everything else, but it's kind of weird why it doesn't add it. But
like when I was looking at it, I could see that like it just looks to me like Telly is supposed to be doing it exactly right, so I didn't know how to fix it. It looks like it's already doing it.
I guess technically it's doing it right because you can still decode it and encode it, but the problem is it only works in Telly, so that's not good. You want to be able to decode it in Solidity. But those are deprecated methods anyways. Encode single, they have new methods that encode that actually do add the padding. But I don't know how much work needs to be done to switch to that in Telly.
We could also just manually add that 00020 to the beginning.
Yeah, but I guess you'd have to check if you have to check if there is padding. If there is, don't add. If there isn't, because you don't want to just manually add to all the queries.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds like it works, but I don't know if it would
Yeah.
actually.
Let us know if you find that method, new method.
Yeah, the new method is. I know the new method. The problem is not a problem, but I don't know if what type of work needs to be done to switch all of Telly.
Yeah, all of Telly is using
Because they're all using a class. The base class uses the encode single method. So changing that in the base class, I don't know how it will affect the other queries. That's what I meant. So
yeah.
Cool. Ryan, those things.
Good. I noticed something on mobile for the data feed. So this is for dark mode users, but I wanted to tackle that because I just imagine myself pulling up the data feed a lot at ETH Denver. So I'm just gonna tackle that today, and then outside of that, Blockchain Explorer and put up some more YouTube shorts.
Thanks. Splatty.
I did last week. I did another stress test on Mantle for, so I bypassed the gas estimating problem, and it actually worked really well.
Stress
so-
test pass.
So the stress, so like, yeah, other than the gas estimating issue, I think it works really well. But
So,
that
so you can do it every second and it works fine.
every 2 seconds.
Every 2 seconds. Why not every second?
Just every second.
Okay.
I
Okay.
can do every second. We can do
Let's
it
try
again.
every second.
Okay.
That was because we know 1 second is the theoretical limit for the smart contracts.
Okay.
Because any faster, you're just going to be failing in the smart contracts. So if we can hit 1 second, then we're good.
I also need to, never mind. I need to go and look at the actual like submissions, because I don't think it was like consistently every 2 seconds. It was like there would be one in a 4 seconds, and then be one a second later, and then there'd be another one like 5 seconds later.
Okay.
And then there would be like 2 in a row that, So I didn't really look at all that yet.
We should do our stress testing on networks where we can airdrop them.
It's hard to explain why this is a wait, what?
We should like airdrop
Oh, yeah.
farm stress tests. Write this code, you can just go bang out other nodes. Good.
On the test net.
Get a bigger airdrop by testing Tellor.
No, we're not.
It's hard to explain why this issue is related, but we have the DVM that makes a table. I use the table for a lot of things now. It's like one of the ways I get data for testing, that is the DVM table. It has a lot of duplicates. Like there's like 3 or 4 times as many, like each report is in that table like 3 or 4 times. And I thought it was because of restarts, but it's not because of restarts. It just is that way. So I don't know if that's a big enough issue that we want to fix it or not. But that's a problem. We got some new spot price feeds to do.
Cool. All right. Mike, anything?
No, I'll see if you guys on at 11. Brian, Spuddy, Brenda.
Okay. Brenda?
And I'm getting ready for September, but Nick, let's try and get that list going of the architecture decisions that we did.
Oh yeah.
The longer time goes by, the harder it's going to be for us to remember.
Yeah, for those listening to the call, we know we have the white paper out for layer, white paper if you call it that. We want to have sort of like another folder full of like, Celestia calls them ADRs, but like basically design decisions. So like if you have questions like, why did you do it this way? You know, like why are we separating out delegations for reporters and validators? We want to like sort of just answer these, because like we say what we're doing in the white paper, but we don't say why. So we're going to basically go over a bunch of questions as far as like why we're doing it a certain way. To help ourselves so we don't go back in 6 months and say like why on earth are we doing this, because we do that a lot. But then also for you guys and sort of transparency. So yes, we will do that. Be on the lookout for those. We'll probably just put them right in the layer repo. And then other new articles from myself could come out hopefully the end of this week. So prepare for those. So any questions, or I don't think so, right, Ryan? All right. Well, thanks everyone. Talk to you next week.